The Oscar nominations are here, and Barbie fans are furious. Not the Barbs, they are generally furious, but Barbie fans. But why are they so mad? Are they even correct? Why the hell is Hillary Clinton involved? All will be revealed on this, Scroll Deep, the show that keeps up with internet nonsense so you don't have to. So make sure to follow. It's me, Jason Statham, saying, make sure to follow. I've got to get back to my bees. The bees! So some context. Fans are furious because Barbie, the movie, got a mere 8 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress, but it didn't get a nomination for Best Director for Greta Gerwig, who was really the author of the movie, or Best Actress for Barbie herself, Margot Robbie. And this has unleashed everybody's least favorite thing, discourse. People didn't hesitate to start calling shenanigans, saying it was misogynistic, and arguing that Ken being nominated and not Barbie was bitterly ironic given the message of the film, and even led to a few members of the cast speaking out in defense. Ryan Gosling issued a statement where he said he was, honored to be nominated and he's very grateful, but he went on to say, there is no Ken without Barbie, and there is no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, the two people most responsible for this history-making, globally celebrated film. Blah, 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 blah. Their work should be recognized along with the other very deserving nominees. Having said that, I am so happy for America Ferrera. Really just threw that in at the end. People are being very rude to America Ferrera, an actress from Barbie who was nominated for an Oscar. And we saw all kinds of angry tweets. We saw people bringing up the lyrics to Taylor Swift's song, The Man. Would I get there quicker if I was a man? Because Ryan Gosling's a man, and he got nominated and Margot didn't. And think about that for a second, would you? But almost as fast, there was a response to this, what Bo Burnham famously called the backlash to the backlash. People said, hey, Barbie got 8 nominations, including Best Picture. It's not like the Academy hated it. They also pointed out that Best Picture now has 10 nominations, whereas Best Director has 5 nominations. Would Barbie have made it in if there were 5? It's debatable. It's a very stacked year. There's some good movies that came out this year. And while the direct comparison between Ken and Barbie's nominations, I know they're real people, but the characters' nominations is compelling, kind of doesn't make sense because they were in entirely different categories. They don't overlap. Like, him being nominated doesn't take a place away from her. The question is whether Margot gave a better performance than the 5 women who were nominated. And you can argue she did, and that's valid, but that's the actual argument. And it's also a bit weird to focus on this discussion of misogyny because women did do very well this year. America Ferrera, who again was in Barbie, did get nominated. Lily Gladstone, who does take she, they pronouns, the first Native American to be nominated for Best Actress, probably also going to win. Justine Triet has also been nominated for Best Director for Anatomy of a Fall, good movie. And Margot Robbie, as the producer of Barbie, will also win an Oscar if it wins Best Picture, which it probably won't. I will say though, it would be nice if the Academy was capable of nominating more than one female director at a time. But until recently, they were nominating no women whatsoever, so I guess it's going to take them a while. But look at this directing category. This is pretty stacked. You can argue Greta should be in there, but there's no one in there where you're like, that's ridiculous. But just when it seemed like the discourse had reached a fever pitch of irritation, along comes Hillary Clinton with the chair. That's right, Hill Dog, who until now had just been chilling in Cedar Rapids, inexplicably decided to weigh in, putting out a very cringe statement that was sort of mostly about herself. She tweeted, Greta and Margot, while it can sting to win the box office, but not take home the gold, your millions of fans love you. You're both so much more than Ken-uff. Hashtag Hillary Barbie. She did her own hashtag. And just to analyze that language of it can sting to win the box office, but not take home the gold, it's referencing how Hillary won the popular vote. She won more votes, but didn't become president. This is about her. She's saying she's Barbie. Also, hashtag Hillary Barbie is so funny. They were like, damn, we're gonna need a whole hashtag for this. People are gonna be loving this tweet so much. And this tweet has been immediately parodied. There've been so many funny parodies. This one about Megan. Another example of a film with a strong female lead that was actually snubbed by the Academy. Where's Megan's nomination? Would have been nice to finally have an android get nominated, but sadly no. I joke, but I actually think Megan was really good, and I would have loved Megan to get something. Mithrigan is a good film, but also, taking a step back, how the hell did Barbie at the Oscars become yet another culture war? Must we have a culture war about everything? It's the Academy Awards. They don't matter. I feel like people didn't care about the Oscars. Wasn't the big narrative about the Oscars in recent years that no one cares about them and no one watched them? That's why the Academy had to pay Will Smith all that money to do that punch, to try and drum up some, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that. Because, the Academy wasn't in anyone's mouth. So he had to try and get his wife's name. I don't know. Something there. I don't know. I'll do a couple more rewrites. Because I do feel a bit sorry for like all the women who have been nominated for Oscars, particularly America Ferrera, who even her co-stars are just kind of like, yeah, we don't think she deserved that. That's mean. I think she was good in Barbie. Whether or not she's like Oscar nomination good, you can argue that, but she is nominated and good for her. I think she's also one of actually very few Latina women who has ever been nominated for an Oscar. I think it's something like 2% of nominees have ever been Latina, so that's sort of historical in a sense. But people are acting like she doesn't exist. The point is, if we had just had a Mithrigan sweep, or even better, a Quantum Mania sweep, no one would be arguing. Best MODOK, obviously would go to MODOK. Best villain would go to no one. There was no villain in that movie as far as I recall. Just an empty space. Best film about a guy who gets really small, where he doesn't actually get really small at any point in the movie, and is mostly quite large. Quantumania. Look, other people are having a worse Oscar season, right? Barry didn't lick that bathtub and defile that grave to leave with nothing. Not to mention Barry, the Flash. He didn't run through time and defile the memories of several famous comic book characters in the process to leave with nothing. I think most of us expected a Flash sweep, to be honest with you. So Michael Keaton put in such an incredible performance as both Batman and Man that he deserved. Have you seen Man, the meme? It's when they take Michael Keaton as Batman and just remove the ears. It's one of the dumbest memes I've ever seen. Timothée Chalamet taught us that there's chocolate and then there's motherfucking chocolate. You know what I mean? So other people are having a hard time. Scroll deep, no nominations. Also, side note, Ryan Gosling is so good in Barbie. I hate to say it. And look, Greta Gerwig wrote that character. So any success Ken has is still Greta's success, in a way. If you want an actual example of this kind of disparity, the fact that I'm Just Ken has won awards over Billie Eilish's song, What Was I Made For? That's an example of like, okay, you could argue there's something going on there because they're directly competing, but also I'm Just Ken kind of slaps, so who knows. But what do you think? Do you think Barbie was snubbed? Do you think this is misogyny in action? Do you think Margot was better than the other nominees? That's a fair opinion to have. Do you think Godzilla should have been nominated? I think Godzilla put in a good performance. I think he put in a better performance than Bradley Cooper, personally. I think he could have snuck in there. Bradley Cooper waved his arms around. Godzilla took down a whole city. Doesn't compare. Let me know your various opinions in the comments down below. Try and keep it civil if you must. This has been Scroll Deep, hashtag Scroll Deep Barbie, if you'd like to discuss the episode. And now it's time to end with our famous catchphrase. Bye, Barbie!